On today's episode of Mythbusters U.S. History Edition,
we are going to explore the myth.
In the years following the Revolution, a vice president of the United States committed murder and attempted to break the new nation up by convincing a section of the country to declare its independence from the U.S.
Did the third vice president of the United States, Aaron Burr, actually murder someone? Was he really a traitor who tried to break up the nation?
In order to find the truth, we looked at a couple of primary documents with a fellow historian.
So did that vice president actually kill someone?
Yes. According to the writings of his seconds and the physician, he did commit murder. It's not the murder we usually think of. Although he did kill Alexander Hamilton, Hamilton knew the possibility of it.
It all started with a letter published in the Albany Register. But it wasn't a letter between Burr and Hamilton. It was actually a letter written by Charles D. Cooper that was meant to be given to Philip Schuyler. In the letter, Charles D. Cooper states that Hamilton believed that Burr was a dangerous man and one who ought not to be trusted with the reins of government. By June, this letter had reached Aaron Burr. Enraged, Burr sent this letter to Hamilton in order for Hamilton to confirm or deny what was said in the letter. However, Hamilton refused to respond because he was afraid this would ruin his reputation, in return giving him less power in the Federalist Party. This made Burr even more angry and resulted him to challenge Hamilton to a duel, although it was illegal. On 1801, the duel took place in Weehawken, New Jersey. They chose New Jersey because, although it was still illegal, the consequences were less severe. Then the duel took place. Unfortunately, Hamilton's son Philip was killed. Although Hamilton's son died, Hamilton himself managed to stay alive. But it didn't end there. Another duel occurred on July 11, 1804, between Hamilton and Burr in the same location. Although it is not certain who fired the first shot, they both fired. However, according to David O. Stewart, author of American Emperor, he claims that Hamilton told many of his friends that he meant to intentionally miss Burr. But this was not the case with Burr. Burr's pistol shot Hamilton in the abdomen above the hip. According to Burr's second, Aaron Burr advanced toward Hamilton in an express of regret, but without speaking, turned about and withdrew. He was immediately cared for by the physicians and taken to his home in Manhattan. Although the wound itself did not immediately kill him, Hamilton died the following day due to the fact that the gunshot pierced his liver and spine. Burr was charged for murder by New York and New Jersey, but the charges were eventually dropped.
Wow, that is a really terrible way to die.
Yeah, but now the question becomes, was Aaron Burr actually a traitor?
Glad you asked. Well, as bad as it sounds, after reading the Aaron Burr papers, we have discovered that he was in fact a traitor to the United States. It all started in 1805 when Burr traveled from New York to Pittsburgh to Virginia and then to Louisiana. He was given 40,000 acres of land from the Spanish government in which he leased. He saw possibilities with the Spanish War, so he went off on an expedition with 80 other men. Burr's plans were to work with Anthony Merry, a British minister, and Don Carlos Martínez de Irujo, a Spanish minister, to help Mexico overthrow Spanish power in the southwest and create a dynasty in the area we now call Mexico. His true goal was to gain power. All of his other attempts of holding power as governor failed, so he took matters into his own hands. Subsequently, according to the Aaron Burr papers, Wilkinson, who was a close friend of Burr whom he thought he could trust, told Jefferson all about Burr's plans of betrayal. So Jefferson issued an arrest. But the judges saw this action as legal and let him go. Since this didn't work, Jefferson decided to put federal agents on his track. As a result, Burr left to Florida, which then belonged to Spain. But on February 19, 1807, Burr was taken to the Mississippi Territory, arrested for treason, and confined to Fort Stoddart. Although it was not really a punishment due to the fact that he was treated very well. In 1807, he was tried for betraying his country. Jefferson, being in his second term as president, was asked to attend court for Burr's trial twice. He, however, refused both times. Instead, he decided to send specific portions of some documents in order to not jeopardize the public interest. Due to the lack of evidence, Burr was acquitted. But it did not end there. Around 1808, Burr exiled himself once again and was involved in filibustering schemes to take over Jefferson and unite France and Great Britain against the United States. After reading about Aaron Burr, we have come to a conclusion.
That Aaron Burr did in fact murder Alexander Hamilton.
Also, we figured out he was a traitor, but he wasn't punished due to the fact that there wasn't enough evidence.
This myth is confirmed!